All right. Hello, and welcome to a new week in the Good Enough shop. Unfortunately, this week is extremely short for me. I only have this one day to be in the shop. Maybe a little bit tomorrow morning, but today is already Thursday, and I haven't done anything in the shop because over the weekend we were out of town visiting Courtney's mother for Mother's Day. So we flew all the way to Ottawa, and we spent the weekend there, which was really nice. And then when we came back, we went right to work. So Courtney had a little bit of a backup of horses she needed to shoe, so we did that. And then we did that for the two. We got back on the Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday we did that work-ins, and then today is Thursday. So this is what I got. So there's not going to be a lot in this video, I don't think. Anyway, I'm going to try to do a bunch of little projects. I'm going to do a little bit here, then I'm going to pause for lunch, and then I'm going to come back, and then maybe tomorrow morning we'll do a little bit. There are some projects that we're going to run through while I talk to you guys about it, and then I'll let you know what's going on the whole progressing with some projects. So right now, almost all of our really big projects are done, or bigger projects, and I don't plan on doing big projects. But a couple of the things I need to handle, like over here on this side, I bought two buckets for holding water. The one bigger one actually doesn't hold water. So while we were gone over the weekend, it just spilt out everywhere. So if you get the chance to see the floor, if I show you the floor at any point in time, you'll see that there's some water stains on the floor now. I could scrub that out, but so the little bucket's fine, the one that's supposed to be over here, but I just put it over there for now. So we will be doing some stuff with the forge, and then we're gonna, I don't know if it's obviously probably not gonna be this video, but maybe next video we're gonna learn how to weld, because I need to do some shoes, some shoe stuff, some things with shoes, and so they need to be welded together. And so we'll talk about the projects. One of the first projects here, we'll grab something here. It's a mess over here. So we're going to grab a stack of pallet wood. We're going to get some more pallet wood here soon. I'm going to spend some time in getting some pallet wood because we have probably about 30 more pallets to break down now. And so what we're going to do is we're going to straighten these up if we can in some fashion. Some of them are really bad, but that's part of the charm, I think. So, but we're going to, oh my gosh, that was crazy. But we're going to see about what it takes to do a frame that we're looking for. And so I'm thinking 4 is going to be good, and then we're going to cut them to specific lengths, which is great. And then we're going to make at least 5 of these. We're going to just glue them together. Maybe 1 or 2 will do some pocket holes, just to again test. But we're gonna try to straighten these. They don't have to be perfect because the whole point of these frames is rustic feel. I'm going to try to square them up as much as possible. So we're going to do that. This project here, and see, that's going to have to be like, so this one's got like a divot in it and that kind of stuff. So maybe that can be like one of the top ones because then I don't have to worry about it. You know, I want it to look like it's been at the farm or in the barn for a while, right? But not at the same time. So we're gonna be doing some of that. As you can tell, I resurfaced the workbench a little bit, and I put a little bit of stain on it, and then I put some because it was getting really nasty with all the glue and stuff. So we'll use the paper for these glue ups going forward. So we're going to try to make a couple of these, but we want to make 5 in total. 1 with each stain, and then 1 just natural. And so we're going to try to find the most natural looking one, which this is actually looking really good. But some of these are really chewed up nicely. So I don't know. But I don't know what they're going to look like after they're necessarily planed and jointed and that kind of stuff. If we go that far. This one has nails in it, so we got to be careful with that. I didn't even see that. Yeah, so that's one of the projects that we want to try to get done. We'll do a little bit of it today. Another one is Courtney makes these hooks, or she has in the past made these hooks. I'll bring it closer. And they're just out of her old farrier rasps. So she just curls the tang of the farrier's rasp over to make a nice little hook. And then she brings the top of the rasp over so then it can hang on things. And people like to use these, especially if on tack-up stalls and stuff when they're getting the horses ready for a show, that kind of stuff. There's a bunch all over the barn. Courtney made a bunch of these. And these are the ones that she has. This is one of the ones that she has in her tack-up. So when we go to a horse show, at the stalls in the horse show, she'll hang these on there and then have her buckets and lead ropes and all that kind of stuff on these kind of hooks. Now, Courtney's made these in the past, and I'm going to make them. I've made a couple. Here, I'll pull them all out. I've made a couple, but me being who I am, I want to try to make them, I wouldn't say better because she's done an amazing job, but I don't want to, I have issues with the way that I've done some of the things. So these are the first two I made. One of them I cleaned up on the wire brush, and I like that a lot. I also like it not being cleaned up, but I like it being cleaned up, so that's what I'm going to do. But you can see that I'm not as good at bending it around as she is, so mine are more rigid. And then one of these hooks here, one of them is kind of cockeyed and off to the right there, and the other one's actually doing pretty good. So those are my first two. I didn't enjoy I enjoyed working it, but I didn't enjoy the end result. So then I spent some time, because the small little hooks at the ends, that's the easy part for me anyway. So I didn't do it to these guys. These guys I was practicing bending these around, and this one I think I did really well, but it's a little. And then I realized instead of on the anvil trying to go around the horn with something that's really hot and really easy to move, we could just make a jig for it. And so I did, and I forgot to actually record this part this morning, but it's my first time. I did try to do a tack weld. I have no idea what I'm doing. So this didn't work. I was safe. I used the gloves and everything, but it's not great, but it might be good enough for what we're going to do with the hooks. So this guy, I'm just going to clamp to the. Let me find a rasp for you. Well, that's a crazy looking rasp. So anyway, so this guy, we're just going to clamp to the anvil. We're going to heat up the rasp. We're going to put it in and just bend it around this. Oh, see, that just fell off. So that's not going to work. Either way, that's the plan. So we're going to get Courtney to show me how to do that now, instead of me just not having it good. I think I might use a bigger piece. I think I might just cut off a piece of thicker, because this is just a bolt I had laying around. It wasn't galvanized. Don't worry about that. I would never work a galvanized item. I'm getting good at recognizing what those are. But anyway, so making this jig, we're going to have something welded to it, right? That's close enough so then I can bend the rasp around it and make the hook a little bit better. Is what my thought process is. If you see my eyes wander, it's because the baseball game's on behind you guys. But yeah, so that's the plan, is to make some hooks. There's a lady that asked Courtney for some more hooks, so she's asked me to make them, and I might straighten these out and these four can definitely be the hey, test this out on this first. So we're not wasting this kind of stuff. So we'll put these up here for now so we can really see maybe the progress of what we're doing. We'll put Courtney's up there too, just so we have this is where we started. This is what it should look like, and this is what you're doing, dummy. So there's that. So that's one of the other projects. And we'll be working on doing some of that. I was hoping to do some of it today, but I didn't realize that I don't know what to do about the welding thing. Welding is, I think after it's okay, then I'll do better, but I couldn't even get a tack weld down. So maybe I'll YouTube it or something before, because I don't know if I want to wait for Courtney to get home. So maybe there'll be a little bit of a weld here. That would be awesome. So anyway, so that's the planks here for the frames, and then the hooks, and then, oh right, my sister-in-law sent a picture to me on Facebook asking if I could make something, and it's a boot rack. It's a horseshoe boot rack. So if I find a picture of it, I'll put it right here. And then, and if not, then you'll have to figure out what it looks like. But anyway, we're going to find we're going to find some horseshoes. They're probably going to have to be a bit bigger ones. So these guys are pretty large. So these are size 3 shoes. And so what shoe, like once, obviously if you've seen the picture that I put up, but we'll have to weld the shoes together in this fashion for the top of the boot rack. And then I have a small piece of rebar, I think, over there that I can use for the bar underneath to hold the boots up. But I'm going to need 6 of these, and then 6 more to make the ends of the horseshoe thing. I don't know if she wants it to look exactly like the picture, or if she wants me to do my own thing with it. But I think I'm just going to knock the clips. I don't even know if I have to knock the clips off. I think the clips being there gives it a little bit of authenticity. So then you know it's a real horseshoe, right? There's so many horseshoe things out there that you can go to the store and see this is a horseshoe thing. It's literally it's not a horseshoe. They're just made terribly. They're backwards or sideways, or the holes are in the wrong spot. And like, it really bugs Courtney every once in a while. We'll go to like a souvenir shop or something, and she'll see something with horseshoes. She'll be like, the nail holes are in the wrong side of the shoe. There's a mall here called Cross Iron Mall, and there's horseshoes tracks all through the mall, and all of the shoes. She hates walking through that mall because all of the shoes are wrong. So whoever painted them on the ground, on the floor, it was just bad. So I think leaving as much of the horseshoe intact for a project like this, because I think that's what she wants, is the authenticity of the shoe is being part of the boot rack. So that's another thing we're going to do. So I'll try to find 6 shoes that match. Now, the problem is, if I find all matching shoes, then it's a little bit, because there are a difference between hind shoes and front shoes. They have a different structure to them. I don't know if I can find a hind shoe quickly here. Hang on. Oh, there's one. I think it's a size 3 one anyway. So I think I might actually intermingle the hind shoes. So you can see here that there is definitely a difference in the structure of the shoe. So this one is definitely more round, right? And then this one is a little bit more square, so my face fits in it better because I'm a square. But you can definitely see that there's a difference between the 2 different shoes, right? And so I think to give it a little bit more authenticity, I might intermingle some hind shoes in this. And I don't know how I want to do that just yet, but that gives me a kind of an idea on how I want this project to go. So that's something for somebody else. The frames are for me because that's one of the first projects that I wanted to make in this shop, and we still have yet to do it yet. And then the hooks are just for somebody else. The hooks are going to be fast and easy to make, so I'm not in a hurry to make them just yet. But if Courtney has any time this afternoon, maybe I'll get her to give me a crash course on the welding. And then maybe I'll get her to put the weld on that, on that one. But we'll see. Let me figure out I'm gonna spend some time. I'm gonna try to find all the horseshoes for the boot rack and get them put aside. And then I'm going to lay out some of this stuff. And while we have the horseshoes, I'm just gonna lay out, like, because these frames hold the horseshoes hold the pictures. And so I need to figure out the best way to get the horseshoe. And so I'll bring you closer when we're laying stuff out on the workbench here. But nevertheless, there's a lot of little stuff here and there to go through. And then I think I have my doubts in some of this stuff, but I think it's going to work out pretty well. I think leaving some of the boards a little bit thicker than some of the other boards, so it gives it some definition through the whole thing. Making one of them like perfect, fully planed, fully sanded, fully, everything, I think is important as well. Just to see if we can make a really, really nice one that looks like it was, made for stores and stuff. But yeah, that's one of the things this is the stuff we're gonna be working on today. So let me just figure out the shoes. Okay. Yeah, so these are the 6 that I've chosen for the top of the boot rack. So we're gonna just put those to the side for now, and then we will deal with those in a bit. And then for now though, we're gonna grab the jointer. We're gonna just see what we can do about jointing some of these boards, getting some of them flat, and then we're gonna figure out the size of each of these that we want. So we're gonna do that right now. So I'm just gonna mess around with the jointer here for now. I get some paste wax on there, and I set it to 16th of an inch. We're just gonna see what we can do with these small little boards. Some of them might break, and some of them might be just too flimsy for what we're working with. But we're just gonna see how many boards we can get at least a little bit more flat, so they can be glued together a little bit better. So we're gonna start with planing the one side and then jointing the edge, and we'll probably do both edges of most of the boards. But if the one edge is really nice, then we won't touch it. So nice as in not nice. All right. Anyway, grab a couple boards, and then. So this one is the one that had the nails in it. I made sure to pull it out, and then I checked the rest of the boards. So let's do that. These things are dirty. Just in case I want a different push stick for later, just grab this guy. We don't have the vacuum hooked up. It's a little full. Oh. So, I'm gonna figure out a way to empty this thing. I don't know if I'm supposed to throw it out after or not. I have 2 more of these, but they worked really well. It got really loud, but I don't know if there is an empty. I'm wondering if I just cut the side out of it and empty it and reuse it. Let's get a new one first, and then we'll finish up here. All right. So just to do this little pile of boards, that took over an hour. But then I was thinking I was being a little too meticulous with it. So I was, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong way. Wrong way. Because of what I've seen, YouTubing stuff and all that jazz, trying to think and stuff, I was like, I gotta get these boards perfect and straight and square and that kind of stuff. And I realized that I don't need to for this project. I really don't. The more wonky, like weird looking the boards are, the more authentic this is going to kind of look. So I know that it sounds like, oh, he just gave up trying to do it right. I didn't, actually. Some of these boards, let's see if I can find a really good one here. I had to stop working on because they became so thin. And so I have to use it. I don't have to use it, but I'm going to use it as is, which is going to give me some depth when I'm working on the stuff. So there's going to be like one board's a little bit higher than the other. So the back is going to be flat, and that's the whole point, is the back, because mounting hardware and stuff for frames, I might actually put a backer on it. So I want the back of these to be as flat as I can make them. The front of it can be wavy and bumpy and that kind of stuff. We are going to sand it all down, but we're not going to try to take the lived life out of these boards. Again, one of them I'm not going to sand. So this isn't enough to do the 5 boards that we need to do, but we will do what we can with what we have. And then I'll spend some of my own time, getting some more pallets torn apart so we can get more of these boards done. I do have more, you can see over there, I do have more of the short boards still in the pile in this mess that we've created. I have 4-inch versions too. I have lots of, this is going to look weird boards, and that's what I'm going for, but I want to make sure that the first couple that we make are actually going to be just decent enough for me to learn how I'm going to do this. All right, so let me pack this guy away, and then we'll come back with the setting up of the boards, I think, and seeing what we can do. Some of the boards that I put over here have got some wedge shapes to them. This one's obviously a huge wedge shape. And then I was like, oh no, what am I going to do with the wedge shaped ones? I'm going to use them. That's what I'm going to do. I only have one end one that I didn't want to mess with the one side of it. So we'll see. We could make more. We could get more, that kind of stuff. I could literally just sand the edges and see if glue will hold. But for now, we're going to just make these the way that we started. So one of these is definitely going to have some wave to it. And so I'm trying to find the most wedge-shaped ones. And then like alternate the wedge shape maybe. And then I can like, with the sander, some of these are going to have the holes in it, like nail holes in them. I think I'm going to be okay with that. I might want to take them out. Like I might decide that this one is going to be just this big, which is fine. But some of them I'm going to want bigger. So I am going to glue them all together. Do I want that at the bottom? Or do I want that hole in there? Oh, what if I do this? So that's just too fat for this one, but we have this extra guy here, so let's see here. It's a little fat still. It's got some really big cracks on it, so I'm thinking maybe we just put it over to the side. Like that. I mean, we could also just use this guy, because this is going to be the most wonky looking one. Yeah, he's a little thick. He's thick. So this will be one of the boards, which is nice. And then if I do that, let's see here. See what we got. No, it's a little bit. Yeah. Let me move you up. You can see what I see. Kind of pull you down a little bit. Maybe that'll work. Again, I'll just be talking a headless torso, just talking. Don't look at my belly. All right. But anyway, so like this guy is kind of looking. It's kind of looking a little beat up and that kind of stuff. Let me just give you an idea of my brain thought here. So here, this one I'd probably cut straight. Like we still got a little wobble here, but as long as it glues flat, I'm happy. So that's, this one's a little too wobbly. Oh, this is that really thin one I had to stop with. Okay. Anyway, so I think I'll probably cut off a certain amount here just to make it straight. So this will be one of the straight ones. So the detail on these boards are actually really cool. So I'd like to try to preserve that. I don't know how. If I sand it and that goes away, I'm going to be sad. But we'll see. So we'll pick another detail-y board, which is there. Again, the boards that have like different, like they're not all perfectly square and straight this way either, right? And so they're going to have, I'm going to cut them to be that way after the fact, but we don't have another board that looks like that. So I might rob from one of these other setups here. I like this a lot. I like this one a lot. So this is potentially, oh, do we take the knotted one? Throw it in there? Oh, that's really thin though compared to these. That knotted one is really thin. I don't think that will go well. This one's wedgy. It's not the same. This one was the wedgy one that we were messing with, right? So, I don't know. We don't have. That one's probably decent comparatively. We just hold one side, give the other a tap, tap, tappy. Okay, so that might be a problem if it's going to move after I have it where I want it to be. Yeah, okay. So that's fairly tight the way we want it. Keep everything down. Yeah, and then, like, obviously that's not going to help picking it up, but it should help set the glue. I don't know why I thought that would work. All right. Let's make 3 more. All right, so let's move this stuff out of the way for a second. We got this LePage Carpenter's High Tech. Great for cabinets and furniture. We got Quick Dry Express. I don't think we need that. We're going to be leaving it overnight anyway. We also have this Gorilla Glue. Now, a lot of people say Gorilla Glue is not great, but we're going to use it. We're going to use it for this, and I guess we'll find out. Or won't we? So what we're going to do, since we're doing a lot of glue here, I'm going to actually use this tray and just dump some glue into it. Oh, there we go. And then we're going to just get the edge of the roller. Nope. Oh no. So that one, the screw is pulling out of. So we'll leave it just that tight, I guess. So we can make better versions of these maybe if well, this is the only one. Well, they're all kind of coming up. So maybe the bolt is the put a bolt through it and tie and twist it up on top here. Gives it a better idea or a better structure, and then I can like really pound it. But we're gonna leave these here like this. This is how this is gonna stay. So we got the makeshift clamps holding these guys together. Hopefully the glue is going to set just fine. We did use the Gorilla Glue, so we'll see. We just have it. And so while we're experimenting, I really hope that these stay together. If there's any other way of joining these together that's not just glue, I probably should have sanded them before I glued them, but I mean, we just jointed them, so I don't know if sanding's going to do too much more. But this is going to be, we're going to have to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, which is the editing day, which usually takes about 5 hours, but if I wake up early, I can come in. We can check on these. We can make the hooks. And then, oh, speaking of making the hooks, here, I'll put these, just hold them down. Courtney came in and she's never done a rounded thing before, but she added this to the thing for me, so we can try to make those hooks a little bit more efficiently. We're going to try this out tomorrow. The weld is, she says, I can do better. She said, I'm like, I don't need it better. I just need it to work. And so she was like, I kicked her out. She didn't need to. She was going to try to fix it, but I was like, no, that's okay. But after that, maybe if there's time tomorrow morning, I'll try my hand, because I really watched her and she gave me some beginner tips, that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll try my hand at welding 2 of the shoes together, and see if I can make it look pretty enough to start doing the boot rack. I was really hoping to get to making the hooks, like, because the hooks aren't going to take very long, but it's already past dinner time, and she just texted me actually. Whew, that's yeah. Yeah, all right, so I'm going to go and handle business at the house. So we'll pick this up in a bit, in the morning. All right. It's really chilly in here today. I have the forge going. I'll shut it off for now. Ooh, like I can get pretty hot, but I was using them to warm up the shop a little bit. It got pretty close to freezing last night, so I'm even more worried about our glue ups now. However, I think we might leave these for a little bit longer. Oh, well, that just came off. Okay. And then we're gonna clamp the bending jig to the anvil, and then we're going to heat up a couple of rasps and see if that bending jig works. I wonder if I put the rasp in the vise, for example, and then I just manually try to make the hook. Should probably clean these rasps before I before I stick them in the forge. Still got horse hoof and stuff on them. I know I'm getting in the way, but I'm trying to do this quick. I can see better that way, but I can see like keeping the hook straight so I don't have to bang it sideways, but I think I just took too much of it. That's way bigger. So I don't have to do as much of that. I honestly think that that might just be as close to perfect as I can get it with this method. I think it's pretty good. So we'll put it in the other way. 4th time's the charm, or 6th time's the charm, or whatever this ended up being. We needed to straighten this one, right? Now, oh, this is not going to work that way, hey? Just realized that it doesn't work the other way if I have it clamped down there. I think I'm going to put a, hang on, we're going to move it. Okay. Almost perfect right off the hop. Well, I can stay there like that for a second. Probably not the safest thing. You know what? I'm gonna fix it. I had to readjust these tongs for this anyway. Beautiful. little bit on the warm side there. Okay. So, got these hooks done. So, the thing about these ones, I'm going to clean up a little bit here. Anyway, so we got these guys, which are looking pretty good. I like them. I want to clean them up a little bit because like the backs of them are, there's stuff in the back. The lady that wants the hooks, oh my god, look at that. I almost got them like even the same length. Wasn't even trying to do that. And then we'll get these. A little bit more close up. A little bit wet so they look cooler too, but I don't know if I'm gonna like actually bring them to the wire brush on the grinder, or if I'm just gonna do it by hand really quick. The wire brush, I think I showed you guys yesterday. On the grinder, the difference between doing it on the grinder and just doing it by hand is here. So I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's definitely a little bit more of a silver shine to it. But Courtney's friend said she kind of didn't want anything done to them, and so I'm wondering if that's assuming the same as cleaning it up. I like the look of it cleaned up on the grinder first. There's something to be said about like the pewter-ish look of these hooks just by themselves. So I'll leave them for now, and then we'll look at these other ones. It's very similar, but obviously you can tell that, like, well, I didn't get those ones the same length. Look at that. But those ones are a little bit more just streamlined, easier. I just worry about, like, I don't know. When you're hanging stuff on it, what side would you want out? I don't know. It's not, none of it's sharp because it's used rasps. But I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so we're going to check these glue ups, and we know that they're going to be stuck to the paper. I know that for sure. So we're going to have to just be careful. Let's grab our scraper here, and we have this metal one here just in case. Okay, so some of these are just coming right off. Oh. Ooh. Let's see how that goes. That one was stayed. Okay, well, either way, we got one ready to go. Huh. Let's bring you a little bit closer, and we can show you what the back looks like. So we'll get rid of these guys. And so this was the first one that came up. Not too shabby. Obviously, we've got a big crack in this board here and a big knot in this board, so this board is going to have a lot of character to it. I think this one we're going to square up. So we're gonna cut off some of this stuff. I think I'm going to use the table saw to do it. I don't know. I haven't decided. I haven't made a crosscut stud yet, which I think is the safest way to do it. But the table saw is the best bet. So maybe I just use the miter gauge that came with the table saw just for these cuts. I know they're not particularly good, but whatever. And then you can see definitely the differences in the back. We still got, they're not perfectly flat, unfortunately, but that was probably due to these boards being so thin and I had to give up on them. But we'll check the other ones and see what happens. Our thickest one, I think, is, yeah, it's this one, I think, and then this one's our wedgie one. So I think we're good. to just sand this. There's no glue I need to scrape off there. There was no glue. I think the glue is perfect. I just don't know how strong it is. We'll find out as we start working with them. I think that what the glue is like. So let's see what we can do here. I'm not worried about the paper, but the less gets stuck to it, the better. No holes. Okay, not bad. Oh, this is definitely a lot smoother, a lot flatter. So that's coming off pretty good. Awesome. So that's pretty good. So this is our off board that's never going to have a border. See, I don't know about bordering the square ones, but this one's going to look like this when it's done. We're just going to cut little bits off of the ends just to make them look a little bit better and not so protruding, but it's going to have this shape to it regardless, which is pretty awesome. So this guy, I'm just flipping him around a little bit, seeing if the glue gives out anywhere. There's like a gap here that I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how well the glue holds up. Again, we did use Gorilla Glue, which people say. My local hardware store that I go to does not sell Titebond 3, so it's something we might have to just keep ordering. Because everybody says use Titebond 3. But I use that for all the outdoor stuff. This is all indoor hangy stuff. All right, so this is the guy with the nice grain that we might leave, similar to this. We'll see what it looks like after sanding. We got some valleys. We got some boards that stick up higher than the others, but we'll see the backside here. Backside is pretty flat. I like just a nice sanding back here. Maybe just a 120 sanding would probably smooth this up. We didn't get any stickage. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then this guy. This was our wedge one. It's going to need a lot of work to get done. Because unless I cut off a whole schwack ton of it, it's going to... there's lots of glue. All right. I very much didn't mind using that. That came right up. Oh. Hang on a sec. All right, maybe you can hear me better. Yeah. I have to get a better microphone set up for the videos. These guys, I mean, they're just fine, but they're definitely. I wish I could put them somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, so this guy, this is our wedgie one. That's got to have like every board's going to have a different elevation to it, which is nice. We just got to make sure that the staining process goes well for this. And if we do cut it really small, because we have to cut this, so that would be, if we cut it there, 14 inches. Yeah, it would be almost a perfect square by 13 and a half. So you can make it 13 and a half by 13 and a half, or 13 by 13, or 12 by 12. And it's just a nice small little maybe desk one if we do that. That would be fine. My plan is to make longer ones and fatter ones and shorter ones and all sorts of different. But these were the first test ones. So it seems like the glue held up pretty okay on all of them. Like I'm not putting a lot of force trying to bend them, because that would be silly. That's not the force that they're going to be. But once we start like attaching stuff to it, like nailing the horseshoes to it, and that kind of stuff is going to be the interesting thing. So what I plan on doing is nailing the horseshoes to it like you would on a horseshoe. Then we clip the ends of the horseshoes, and then what they do is they clinch it So they bend the nail over and push it into the hoof. And we're going to do the same thing here. So the back of the board, if anybody ever looks, if we don't cover it, we'll have nail lines like they do on hooves. And one of the things that farriers take pride in is making sure that their nail lines are looking good. So I want to, it would just be a little Easter egg in the back of these types of things that will show you that there's an Easter egg for farriers specifically, which is pretty cool. I didn't need the scraper. Yeah. So these look great. And we're going to make them look greater. Again, this one we're going to try to leave as natural as possible. But we do have the 4. So this is already gray. And so I'm wondering if I, instead of just using it natural, I just use the gray stain on it. Right? Just to give it back its stuff, because I know the stain will pull the grain back out, which is really, really nice. And then, yeah, I just, so I have the 4 different stains that I want to try, and maybe this is my opportunity to do both. And see, because this is what it looks like, kind of natural off of the pallet, right? Your horse's feed came on this pallet, and your horse's shoes are on this pallet, your horse's name is on this pallet, and you can put pictures of your horse in this and put it up on your wall or up on your desk or whatever. And that's the point of these things. So maybe we try this on this one specifically, so we know if it's a close match, we can do a before and after kind of thing. So obviously that's worked out well for us. We got the hooks sorted. Here, hang on, let me show you. Let me bring you back. Up. So we got the hooks sorted, which is nice. So there's 1 or 2 of each, and so we're going to let her decide which ones. So those are pretty awesome. Let's see if I can. I forgot about the lights I put up yesterday. That gives us a little bit better light on the subject. So these guys obviously were fun to build. I had a lot of fun. Obviously a little bit of more practice is needed. The jig that Courtney helped me make could use a little tweaking. But I think if we get a hardy attachment into it and just in general get another bar on it, I think it will actually be pretty good. So we got this, and then we got the makings of our picture frames, which we're going to probably try to finish these up in this upcoming video. And then we've picked out our horseshoes for the boot rack. So lots of stuff happening, and I just had a 1-day week this week. So join me again in the next video and see what kind of progress we can make on these guys, and hopefully, fingers crossed, none of them break. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you again next time.